Now, the third country we visited on our trip was Namibia. So keep watching as I share with you some of the most breathtaking landscapes we saw on our visit. And I hope to inspire you to put Namibia on the list of places you'd like to visit in the future. I'll also be dropping some top tips along the way so that you can make the best of your trip if you decide to go and avoid things like running out of fuel like we did in the middle of the desert. Now, there are many ways to get around Namibia, but the most common ones are renting a car and hiring a tour guide. We landed in Windhoek, the capital, and picked up a hire car. Now, here is where I dropped the first top tip, which would be to get a 4x4 if you want to do long journeys, as you will inevitably have to drive through rough terrain. We didn't do this, and that was a mistake. So after just one night in Windhoek, we set off to Etosha National Park. The park, located in the northwestern part of Namibia, offers the opportunity to see plenty of wild animals. So if you're looking for an adventure and want to see all the animals, then it's best to hike or drive through most of the park and stay there for at least 5 days. However, if you want a more relaxing time with fewer crowds and less mileage, then taking day trips is your best option. We had already completed a safari in Botswana, so we opted for the latter. We stayed 2 nights at Etosha Safari Camp and did day trips to the park. I would highly recommend the Safari Camp. They had fantastic accommodation that was reasonably priced, and you had a chance to meet and mingle with other travelers.
Etosha Safari Camp, yeah, unreal. Great atmosphere, spectacular food.
Yeah, it's a really warm, friendly environment. There's a lot of attention to detail. It's colorful, it's fun, it's lively. It's been a great stay here, I think.
After leaving the Etosha camp, we set off across Namibia's central highlands. Now, the region is characterized by rolling hills, valleys, and mountains, which are dotted with large family farms, lodges, and guest houses, many of which provide welcoming short-stay accommodation for travelers en route elsewhere. And you will be surprised what you find on Airbnb. We decided to take a scenic drive from Etosha to a small village where we were staying. And guess what? We ran out of gas on our way. There were tense moments along the way where we had to keep stopping to figure out what we were going to do. And we ended up having to drive on empty for the last 20 minutes, just reaching a gas station in the village where we were staying.
That was a close one. How far ago did you say the indicator went off? No fuel left?
It said, no kilometers left, about 40 kilometers.
So here is where I drop the next top tip. Carry extra fuel, and especially when you're on long trips, make sure you've got a spare tire and that you've got access to a paper map. You can't always rely on the data service on your phone. So apart from the great relief at getting a gas station just in time, the next major surprise was turning up to a stunning Airbnb in the middle of nowhere. Goes on forever.
It does, yeah. 10,000 acres.
10,000 acres.
10,000 acres, yeah.
That's absolutely crazy. So it is just, what, game land, or is there farming on it?
Yeah, so it's split between luxury lodges, and then they live here and they do the Airbnb for part of their home, and then they also have hunters come in whenever they'd like. But yeah, it's a pretty high-end place.
Yeah, it's really relaxing. It was nice to sit by the fire pit last night and just chill and look up at the stars.
Complete with these dogs. I wonder if they got these dogs just for Airbnb guests. And dinner, we had dinner last night. I cooked again.
Yeah, delicious.
Yeah?
Yeah, we had ribs and we had sausage. The mashed potatoes, I would say, were exceptional. Yeah.
And it was the first time I cooked with a flipping alga.
Yeah.
They're really cool.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
They're really cool. Okay, you're the one who plans our trip. Where's next?
So today is another day with some time on the road. So we need to leave here and then go back kind of through the same area that we went through yesterday, so that kind of mountainous desert area. And then we'll make our way all the way over to the coast today. Go a little bit north, and then you should be able to see one of the shipwrecks.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll turn to go south, and then tonight we're going to stay in a place called Swakopmund.
The Skeleton Coast Park is a UNESCO World Heritage Site located on the northern part of Namibia. The coast is largely soft sand, occasionally interrupted by rocky outcrops, and is probably one of the most aptly named national parks in Africa. The Bushmen in the Namibian interior used to call this region the land God made in anger. Our trip along the coast was another one that left us in awe of the beautiful wilderness of the vast landscape. Our last stop on our Namibia trip was in the city of Swakopmund. It's a beautiful coastal town complete with coffee shops, nightclubs, bars and hotels. It's a perfect base for day trips and excursions. Some exciting things to do include balloon rides, skydiving, quad biking and even taking boat trips. Since the city is surrounded by the world's third largest sand dunes, we decided to head there to trek and experience some of the best sandboarding and desert quad biking in the world. So, the end of another leg of the trip. We are leaving Namibia today, and yeah, it's been great. Much like the other countries we visited, honestly, I just feel like it's something that's been so good for the soul. But in one way, I guess the biggest difference is that in contrast to the other places where we actually focused a lot more on animals, Namibia felt much more about the landscape. It's just been really immense. I don't know, when I had visions of what Africa looked like, I guess some of it was what I've seen here and some of it is quite different. And both have been really good. Of course, the focus has always been about also inspirational food. But like other places we visited, I haven't had a chance to try as many of the what I would call local foods as I would have liked. And I guess, again, just the case that in Southern Africa, if you go to places that have lots of non-blacks, both as tourists or living, then you're not going to get a lot of African restaurants. And I've been wondering this for a while, why it is actually that, for instance, whether it's Nigerian food or many of the African nations, why their foods are not more popular around the world. Maybe like the cultures that we tend to maybe cook much more at home. It'd be surprising to go to somewhere in China, not going to find a place serving Chinese food. Yesterday was really good though. I went to a place, in some senses, quite local, German, and had an awesome crocodile steak. That will be an abiding meal. Well, onwards we go. Thanks guys for watching.